Hello and welcome to this edition of Broome Up Front. I'm your host, Gina Bond. Today we're going to be joined by Andy Lucio to talk about witchcraft. How are you doing today, Andy?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. You have some questions for me?
I do have some questions for you. So what is witchcraft?
Witchcraft is a spiritual practice that can be secular or non-secular, meaning that it can be involved with a religion or not.
Can anybody practice witchcraft?
Anybody can practice witchcraft. However, there are some close practices that we do highly recommend you you consult with the people that have been raised within the practice if you do practice it, just for your own safety, of course.
Makes sense. Do you worship a deity or are you a secular witch?
I don't worship anybody other than myself and my partner, but aside from that, I do worship the Saint Virgin Mary. I grew up with her as a little girl with my mom, praying to her, and she is very important to me and my family.
So in relation to the saint that you worship, do you have an altar to this saint?
I do have an altar for the Virgin Mary.
What does it look like?
I put my favorite stone, rose quartz, a bunch of my other crystals, a bunch of chunky jewelry. I put this picture of my niece in it, Nina, to protect her. It's a protection circle that I did with like jewels and stuff, and just her being in my altar just makes me feel safer.
So why should someone become a witch? Can you give us any recommendations?
Well, going off what I said earlier, it can really be used for anything. Same with religion. If you feel like you are looking for something like spiritual or something to give you a higher purpose or something that you can just use to cope with everyday stress, or just honestly like a hobby or something, I think you should at least try it out, look into it.
Sounds awesome. Amazing. So what's your favorite crystal and why?
Like I said, rose quartz.
Right.
I just want to surround the people in my life with love, and it's a very loving stone.
So I've heard it said a lot of times that witchcraft is evil. Is this true?
Yes.
Yes.
I am. No. Witchcraft is not evil. Witchcraft is an amoral act that can be done for good or bad. Personally, I don't hex people. If I have to hex somebody, I will just use my hands.
Good to know. Okay, so stay tuned after this short break when we will be shown how to make a spell jar for motivation.
Country hosts Free Comic Book Day. Locally, Sangaran in Vestal does everything they can to make it a special event for comic book lovers in the area.
We have people lining up 2 hours before we open usually. People dressed in costume with their kids, the whole throng of their family usually, just like ready to go. And it's just insanity for about, 5 hours or so.
Free Comic Book Day is Sangaran's biggest event of the year. All of the chaos during the day truly shows the power of comics.
It's a relatively new concept, but it blew up. It's just every comic book store does it, and they always get a great turnout. Like I said, it's easily our biggest event of the year here, and just, it's great. I love it, personally. How can you not love free comic books?
This is an opportunity for kids who have never owned a comic book to discover a potential new favorite form of media.
Usually it's already kids that are into superheroes, and maybe they haven't had a comic book before, but they'll definitely leave with one.
The store is lined with thousands of comic books. Each one has the potential to be a new fan's first, or a veteran's new favorite.
It is wall to wall in here, so we have to move a lot of stuff, and we have to set up a lot of other things, and it's a whole thing. But it's worth it. It's one of the best days of the year. It's like Christmas, but with comic books. No, Halloween, but also with comic books.
For Broome Up Front, this is Kippy Hallett signing off.
Welcome back to SUNY Broome Up Front. We're here with Andy, and she's going to be showing us how to do a motivational spell jar. Take it away, Andy.
We're going to be having a lot of fun today. All right. First things first, you want to open up your jar.
Sure.
Next.
Open it up.
We're going to use the cinnamon. Pour in real quick. Like that. Just a little bit, though.
You want to tap mine in for me?
Of course.
Thank you so much. Very witchy.
All right, very witchy. Next up, rosemary. For
Rosemary.
memory. It's already been helping me out a lot.
Oh yeah, me too. I certainly need that, especially when exams come around.
I don't take any exams. I am an art major, so I just draw little silly
You're
pictures.
so lucky.
Am I? Am I really? Maybe it's the magic. You don't know.
Maybe it's the magic. So
Okay.
what's the next step?
The next one is
Basil?
basil for. Oh, there we go. Basil's for relief from mental fatigue. Basil is a very fresh herb, very. And a lot of these have their own symbology and like meaning that you ascribe to them. A lot of witchcraft is like that. Just kind of like sprinkle it around all over the place.
Right.
Next one is coffee.
Coffee.
This one, most folks at home will know this. This is a very
I sure do.
This is a very non-conventional use for coffee. Usually you put it in your drink, but if you would like to adhere to higher means, then by all means, try using coffee and make a spell jar.
All right.
Next one is bay leaves.
Bay leaves.
This is gonna help us with success and to banish out drowsiness. Oops, I'm kind of holding up.
Did you get it? There you go.
I got it out. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. We can switch jars now. There we go. Very
There we
nice. And next?
Very cute. Oh, they look so cute.
They do look
already.
so cute. They smell amazing.
They do. All right.
And this
now,
was, what was this ingredient?
This is ginger for energy.
Energy. Gotcha. Go ahead and put one in mine. Okay.
All right.
And then my favorite step is the gemstone.
The gemstones. Oops. Technical difficulty. Specifically, tiger's eye. These are wonderful for motivation and mental clarity.
Excellent.
That might have been a bad omen, but we're just gonna ignore that. Anyways, second to last is the orange oil.
And then?
And then the peppermint oil for alertness and focus. And then finally, you got your jar.
Nice. Beautiful.
But we can't have the full jar if we don't seal the spell. This is the most important part. You grab your lighter or whatever you freaks use at home. And then you light the end, like so, like that. And you just let it like kind of like drip over it.
I'm gonna drip onto mine too.
Gina. Gosh, we're in live television. And, you know, the way you would use spell jars, you can really do whatever you want with them. You can, specifically for this one, like, since it's a motivation one, if you ever want to like utilize it in a practical setting, you can go out, and if you ever need like energy or motivation for a test or schoolwork or any projects, these are great.
So let's see our finished product.
This is what a fully finished product would look like.
Beautiful. Look at this. It's like you can see the bay leaf if you look really closely and the tiger's eye. Gorgeous.
It's really pretty.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. This has been Broome Up Front. Thank you and good night.
Have a nice night.